Teach and Learn morning show with your host, DJ Grace. Come to teach and also with willingness and open mind to learn. Thank you.
Good morning. Jonah. I'm here represent for DJ Grace. Grand Rising, you know. Good morning. Each and every one. Now watch the morning price. You don't know. DJ Grace live. Woman power. Teach and learn. So listen and learn. DJ Grace. You see people will always be people. See a man, we say them real too. Yeah, them deceive you. Use you, then say them no need you. We no flower, never weeble. Them sprinkle oil by a vehicle. When I reach, everybody want to meet you. When I poor, them mistreat you. Them want to beat you, delete you. Not if you drunk or want to eat you. All your gal you have to breathe to. And your brother in the street too. You need to. Because I'm covered up where we need to. Not just the wolf, run where all the sheep to. Who you least suspect them one, you cover up now the sheet to. Them evil, I wonder if you see it to. DJ Grace. Them think that I sleep. DJ Grace. Teach and learn. Woman power. Strike the logo, you know? Yeah. Stand by, papi. Grace, tell me all violence to stop. When we can't keep a dance, them tearing all we shop. Kill we with tax, when the mess up we forgot. When cover ball I grew up, I'ma play them on my pot. Kill off a friend of mine, them seriously we forgot. No sell out, turn in farmer and them not produce no crap. Nowadays, all rata set a trap. The system corrupt, all the kappa kappa clap. Get to youth and I just say risk, you for watch. Life short and at the time we sell a shop. Even though things slow like a phone full of app. Grace, life sweet, I could have called it so what's up. The wise man, build him house up on a rock. The foolish man, sell everything because of crack. Me know you ugly love the flow up on the track, Grace. But it's a key link to the lyrics, me a jaja nasty. Grace, teach and learn, Grand Rising, woman power, is it? Strike the logo. No surrender, no retreat. Is it? Yeah. Yo, DJ Grace, this is just a message. Yeah. You know what I mean? To all the listeners out there, all the callers. It's not the same. It's not the same. The world change. That's it. But I just keep focus. Teach and learn. DJ Grace. Learn to lose. Woman power.
Warning.
Okay, Grand Rising, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? A blessing to everybody, Teach and Learn family. Blessing to Roland, to Schoolers Roland, clocking in, Watchdog Entertainment. All right, Lord, bless up yourself, Yuna. Blessings. Please to share, make some party watches, share into group and all these things. Let person know that Teach and Learn is on. All right, today I'm going to be touching down. We're going to be talking about the hidden history of Jamaica. Okay, the hidden history or the untold story about Jamaica. All right, so I have a clip to play. I'll be taking in calls. All right, but before I do so, let me just read this little bit. Okay, in this ledger, yeah, all right, we're going to be touching down on these lies. All right. To do this, we need to correct 500 years of so-called history. Okay? Christopher Columbus was not an explorer. All right? All right? There was no such thing as Arawak Indians. There was no transatlantic slave trade. There is no such thing as an island of Jamaica. We were never independent in 1962. We are not Jamaicans, and the government is not ours. Okay? Blessings. All right. Blessings to Jason. Here is what in 1962 our independent didn't do, yeah? Really extinguish relinquish, yeah, the Queen claims of dominion over the island. Return ownership of the island and resources of the people. All right. Restore our rights and birthright inheritance. Okay. Recompensate the native for the wealth stolen in slavery. All right. Remove the Queen of head of state and owner. Resign, okay, the Governor General as a lord of the land. Revoke the birth certificate ban and the citizenship. Lord of mercy. All right. Resolve the debt upon the people. All right. So I'm going to be playing a clip. So please to share because this is very important. All you got to do is just listen. Just listen. The key to learn is to listen. Okay. With an open mind and the willingness to learn. Every day, treat every day as a learning process. In my words, anyone that say they know it all, know it nothing. That's why they say you're never too early to learn. Date expiry, big up yourself. Robert, big up yourself. Musa, big up yourself. All right. So, please to share. Carlton, bless up yourself. Please to share. I'm going to be playing a clip. It's about 50-something minutes, yeah, with this young man. He's going to be telling you, breaking it down for you about the hidden history of Jamaica. The lines will be open. That's a number there for you to call in. You can call on WhatsApp or you can call on Messenger if you want to give your input. You have something to say towards it, okay?
As I said, the important thing here is we have to start challenging the history that was fed to us because it's not entirely true. To say that the history of Jamaica that I was taught at KC or the history that I learned at university in New York is...
You know what, I'm going to address something before I actually go into before I go into the clip. I'm going to be addressing something because it's something that I see happen more than one time. You have choices, what you do, where you go, and what you watch. If you're on somebody's page, yeah, and they're doing something or playing something that you're not approve of or is not of your interest, all you got to do is watch something else because you have an option. Don't see me making a party watch and then you're going to be suggesting another video for people to watch. Okay? Let me say this because I'm a person that would unfriend you or even block you. But I'm not easily to block anybody, but it must be a reason. If you are not interested in something, just go away and watch what you need to watch. If this is not of your interest, don't suggest another video because that's what party watch is like. If you suggest another video, automatically my party watch is going to go on another clip that I'm not showing. So don't do that. If you're not approved of Teach and Learn, take yourself off my page, all right? Plain and straight. Blessings. Okay, so I'm going to play this video. I have to address
inconsistent is an understatement. Entire chunks, thousands of years of history have been omitted from what we were taught. We're not going to go that deep today. The idea today is to fill in some of the blanks and show you how it all connects to the circumstances that we find ourselves in on this island right now. Because we think that history is a dead thing, but it's not. It's the history that sets up the present and the future. All right? This first slide, I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek about it. Just to make you wonder, what makes you Jamaican? And what makes this island Jamaica? You ever wondered about that? Who told you you were Jamaican? We know it wasn't God. And if God never tell you, then it can't be true. It must be that some men made it up. Anyway, history is a weapon. And much of the history that we were fed in school is a fiction. But it was told to us in order to make us accept that England has a legitimate claim to own the island, fair and square, and that we are merely immigrants here, so we can't really challenge their ownership, can we? And second, that history is intended to make us believe that the government we have is legitimate, and that we are responsible for the debts that our government incurs. We're going to see how that's not entirely so. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to take down some of these lies, which means that we're going to have to correct 500 years of history, from 1494 to 2014, and 520 years. 7 points we're going to cover. The first point, Christopher Columbus was not an explorer. There were no such people as Arawak Indians, certainly not here. There was no transatlantic slave trade. I know that one sounds kind of shocking. There was no slave trade. There's no such island as Jamaica. We were never given independence in 1962. We are not Jamaicans. Of course, if there's no island such as Jamaica, then there can't be people called Jamaicans, all right? And finally, the government is not ours, which explains a lot, doesn't it? They're not really working for us. All right, so first, lie. No such people as Arawak Indians. We're told that Christopher Columbus encountered a race of people he called Arawaks. But Spanish historians describe these Arawaks as docile, medium-build, copper-colored people, like the ones you see on the coat of arms, with straight black hair, and they said that they lived here for up to 10,000 years ago. Problem is, no evidence of these people has ever been found. Understand that there is no Jamaican archaeology. There is nobody out there digging up any part of this island to try to find any evidence of anything. So they found no burial grounds, no tombs, no temples, not even a bone fragment or a hair follicle so we can test some DNA. None of this, even though they say that these people lived here for 10,000 years. How do you live anywhere for 10,000 years and not leave an archaeological record of yourself? That's because those Arawak Indians never existed here. In fact, the only people that we can prove existed here in this region are the so-called Caribs. And guess what? The Caribs are not medium-build, copper-colored people. They are black. If anyone's ever been to Trinidad, or St. Vincent, or St. Lucia, or St. Kitts, where these Caribs supposedly were, you'll see that the people that call themselves Caribs are black. They do have, some of them, curly hair, straight hair, but we know that that exists inside the black gene pool anyway. Alright? There were no Arawak Indians in this entire region. Research by pioneering black historians and anthropologists revealed that the people Columbus actually encountered here in 1494 were likely the same as he encountered in America, which he wrote about in his journals. They were black-skinned, nappy-haired Nubians. Okay? There's another explorer named Giovanni de Verrazzano, who came to America about 20 years after Columbus, 1514, and he wrote in his journals that the people he encountered were Ethiopian. He said nothing about copper-colored people. And if those people had existed in the Americas for thousands of years, it's a fair expectation that they lived on these islands as well. They lived everywhere. And we're going to see that they left evidence everywhere. So, the point I'm making is, most of our ancestors were already here. Alright? And they had been here for tens of thousands of years, as I'm going to prove. Historians have discovered what they were called. They were called the Amaru. This is where the term America comes from. It doesn't come from Amerigo Vespucci. It came from the Amaru, because they knew who was here originally. And another name for them is the Olmec sheep. Well, guess what? Mech, sheep, Mexico. That's where the term Mexico comes from. So if you talk about Americans or Mexicans, you're talking about our ancestors. And they inhabited the entire region, as I showed you, North, Central, and South America, and the Caribbean. They are the real Amerindians that I was taught in high school, and they were black people. You don't know them because Europeans gave them other names, just like they made up the name Arawak from the Arawak. They made up all these other names to keep you from realizing that everything in the Americas is you. Every artifact they find is you. Every monument they find, you built. But instead they tell you it's Maya, and Inca, and Aztec, and Toltec, and Taino, and Carib, and Arawak. These are all names they made up. Understand that. Alright. And of course, they told you that this is what the Arawak looked like. Or the Amerindians. Right? Anyone ever seen any Jamaicans looking like this? You know why? They never existed here. They want you to think that that's what the Arawak looked like, because they don't want you to know that this is what they look like. These are the original Amaru Khans. These are the original Olmec sheep. These are our ancestors. These are called the Olmec colossi. Colossi from colossal. And these are massive stone carvings of white people. I mean, this guy looks pretty white, right? This is a white dude, right? No? Okay, well, okay. These are black people. And they're carved out of one solid piece of basalt rock. Basalt is the second hardest rock on Earth. First hardest is granite, which is what the pyramids are made out of. And they've dated these heads, and they estimate that they're somewhere between 16,000 to 20,000 years old. Stop and think about that, beloveds. 20,000 years ago, a race of black people excavated massive granite rocks out of the mountains, basalt rocks, and then etched themselves into these rocks. What kind of technology would they have had to be able to do this 20,000 years ago? Because it wouldn't have been a copper chisel. Alright? And I like this slide. Just a comparison. Here's a white dude, and here's a white dude. Right? So we were certain that the Olmec were white. Okay. These depictions weren't just depictions of ourselves. Because if you think about it, I'm not sure why it would be necessary to carve yourself into stone like that. These were actually depictions of our gods. But that's a powerful statement, isn't it? That the depictions of the gods look just like the people. You see what I'm saying? Okay? Historically, every ancient culture always depicted their gods to look like themselves. There's a reason it says in the book that the Creator created man in His image. That means your God must have looked like you. And since there's 5 billion black people on the planet, I would like to believe that a black God created me. I'm just saying. So those are the Olmec colossi, and as I said, they're depictions of the black gods. And the people were the builders of civilizations. They were not primitive. Primitive people couldn't do that. And like our Kemetic ancestors from Egypt, our Olmec ancestors engineered entire city complexes. Thousands of years before Europeans crawled out of their caves. Historians have nicknamed the Olmec the mound builders. They call them mound builders because they built these megalithic structures all over the Americas. This is the Pyramid of the Moon. It is in a place called Teotihuacan in Mexico. This pyramid is the second largest, it was the second largest pyramid by volume on the planet. It's now the third largest. And I don't know if you can get an appreciation of the scale of this, But I like this picture because see these tiny dots, that's people. Just to show you how massive this thing is. And unlike the pyramids of Egypt, the pyramids built by the Olmecs were meant for you to mount. They were meant for you to climb them and go up there and behold the greatness of your ancestors. This was built by black people. The same stone heads I just showed you. White archaeologists have confirmed that they were also the builders of these pyramids. This pyramid is 20,000 years old. And it is built from granite. And it is still standing, unlike the World Trade Center. This used to be the biggest pyramid on the planet by volume. It's called the Pyramid of the Sun. It's on the same complex. This was built by black people. It is massive. It's called the Pyramid of the Sun because it is designed to align with solar phenomena. This is the new King of the Hill. Remember I said to you, this one was the biggest pyramid on the planet. That was until 6 years ago when they stumbled onto this. This is called El Mirador. It is in Mexico. Mirador is a Spanish word for veranda or rooftop because they discovered that when you stand on the top of this, you can see for miles. And guess what? When they stood on the top of it, now this had been covered up by jungle. Just to show you, imagine how old this is. This is real. This is not from a movie. This is not special effects. This is an actual photograph. Alright? This pyramid is massive. You can't even see the base of it. It is so old that trees were growing up from inside it. This is in Guatemala, Central America. And this whole area was covered up by jungle for thousands of years. They don't even know exactly how old this is. But so far, they've estimated it's 26,000 years. There are potentially thousands of massive pyramids in that one city complex alone. Built 26,000 years ago, at least, built by the Olmec Sheik, black people. So that's the first lie about Arawak. The second lie, Cristobal Colon was a mercenary. This is the man that you know as Christopher Columbus. Anybody ever wondered why suddenly in 1492 all these Europeans decided that they were going to jump on boats and start exploring everywhere? Well, there's a reason. There's always smoke, fire behind the smoke. In 1491, 1 year before his first voyage, there was a war between the Moors and the white Europeans. Actually, that war had been going on for a very long time. The Moors had ruled Western Europe for 700 years. But in 1491, when Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand defeated them at Granada in Spain, Pope Innocente, I love how the popes always have nice names. Pope Innocent. Pope Innocent the VIII legalized the enslavement of black people all over the world and the theft of their lands and their wealth by white Europeans. This happened in 1491, and then in 1492, the voyages all started, right? You had Portugal, Spain, the Dutch, France, and Britain. Everybody just started exploring the so-called New World. How can it be the New World, by the way, if it's older than your world? I mean, I just showed you a 26,000-year-old pyramid in the New World. Anyway, Columbus's first voyage was a military reconnaissance mission. Everybody understand what that is? When you want to wage a war with an enemy that you're not familiar with, you send somebody to scope them out. See how fortified their nations are, see what kind of weaponry they have. And we know this for a fact because he only took 3 ships. Everybody knows the name of those 3 ships, right? Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria. And he only took about 80 crewmen. But when he came back in 1496, 17 warships and 1,300 soldiers. And those ships were carrying cannons, those ships were carrying armory, but he was just an explorer. Columbus and his crew sailed from island to island, wiping out the natives who fought back and enslaving the survivors. This mass murder was justified as converting savages to Christianity in order to bring them under the dominion of Rome. It's called forced denationalization. Denationalization is when somebody takes away your indigenous rights. And dispossession is when someone takes away your birthright property. That was what this whole voyage was about. Because that was the only way they could claim the land. They had to wipe out and disinherit the rightful owners. That is why they made up the story of Arawak. They don't want to admit that they came here, saw black people, and tried to eradicate all of them and then enslave the rest of them. And that their ownership of our island was illegal from day one. This was all done, as I said, with the blessing of the Pope and the Roman Empire, which owned the Kingdom of Spain, Kingdom of Britain, the Kingdom of France. And everything the Romans did, they carried around a red cross. We know the red cross. We're familiar with it, right? The first time we saw those red crosses was on these guys. These are the Knights Templar. Yeah. The Templar were the armies that were sent into Africa to conquer and destroy. We also know the red cross from these three ships come sailing in from Cristobal Colon. This is the Santa Maria, the Nina, and the Pinta. See? Same red cross. Pay attention to that red cross. All crosses lead to Rome. There's a reason that our ancestors made up that word crosses. What does crosses mean in our language? You see? They knew that anytime some bad shit happened, crosses was behind it. Alright? But here's another place that you'll find that red cross that you probably never thought about. Look at this. What's that? What's this? This is a red cross. Right here. That's the cross of the Templars. This is a seal of ownership. And you know how we know it's the cross of the Templars? Because what's this? That's knight's armor. On our coat of arms. Alright? And then of course we have the big arrow, that's the medium grown, docile, long-haired people. And out of many one people. You guys know that the last census, which was done in 2011, confirmed that this island's population is 98% Nubians. Out of which many? Which many people? There's only one people on this island. But here you are, the red cross. Crosses, that's who owns the island. And of course, all crosses lead to Rome, and this pedophile. This is the last Pope, Pope Benedict. I call him Pope Maledict, because this I'm going to keep the language clean because we're recording it. And again, by the way, let me just say, I mean, I know that the Christians in the room know that your religion and this man are not the same thing, okay? Alright. All crosses lead to Rome. Alright, point number 3. Was it a slave trade or was it a transatlantic war? The story of a massive 300-year slave trading operation that brought 12 million Africans to the Americas, that's North, Central, and South, is a cover story for the European crusade against our black ancestral civilizations. As I just said, the Pope authorized it in 1491, and suddenly they were out there discovering places full of people. Places that weren't lost were being found. The slave trade was part of a centuries-long race war. Now this is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff. And let me not get ahead of myself. In this war, Arabs, pale Arabs, who had been in conflict with the black Islamic empires of Africa since 1189, allied themselves with the white Europeans and black Christian converts in 1491 to wage a war that would destroy every black civilization on the planet. Again, a lot of stuff I'm going to touch on. I'm not going to go too deep in it because it's just outside of the scope of this. This transatlantic war combined military invasion and genocide with biological, psychological, social, legal, and financial tactics to achieve total domination over indigenous Nubian peoples. The defeated Nubians were captured as prisoners of war. Again, we go back to the Europeans and their wordplay. People you are calling slaves are prisoners of war. They're prisoners of war. And what you're calling a slave trade was a war. It was a race war. This strategy was done in order to dismantle families, tribes, and nations. You break them up, that's divide and conquer. To destroy languages, cultures, and lineages. And to dictate a new name, a new identity, and a new story for our people. In other words, to replace our greatness with weakness. To tell us that we didn't accomplish or build anything. We started out as slaves. So how were we made slaves? It was a process, it was a strategy. First, armed mercenaries invade your island and overpower your warriors. Check. Then they established seaports like Port Antonio and Port Royal and Old Harbor and Kingston and Port Murren and Runaway Bay. These are ports from which to coordinate their massacre of the native populations. Step 3, you then enslave the surviving population. Obviously, if you show up here and let's say he wiped out 1 million Nubians on Jamaica in 1494. What do you think the other million are going to do? I mean, that's what you call literally putting the fear of God into people. So we walked into slavery, some of us. Some of us fought back, and we know who those people were. Step 4, you then prevent them from teaching one another. We take so many things for granted, but understand that 150 years ago, it was illegal for black people on Jamaica to learn to read and write. It was against the law to teach a Negro to read or write. Do not take it for granted, beloveds. Use your intelligence. And step 5, you impose a foreign religion that teaches the natives that they are savages and their invaders are servants of God. Now, I just want to say ahead of time, I'm not attacking anybody's religion. Because frankly, from my perspective, the blackness comes first. I really don't care what you call yourself. I call myself Buddhist. I don't care what you call yourself. You can pick any religion. But the blackness comes first. Alright? So when I talk about Christianity, I'm talking about Christianity in the context of history. I'm not attacking a religion. I'm not attacking Christians. But religion is a weapon of conquest. Religion is a weapon of conquest. As I said, it is not possible for 10% to enslave the 90% without messing with them psychologically. It's just not possible. Alright? So this is where Christianity came in. Christian doctrine was used. Notice I said it was used. I didn't say that it taught this. But it was used to teach them that God, Jesus, looked like their slave masters. We all know the picture of white Jesus. Right? This was necessary in order to convince us that our enslavement was the will of God. It had to be. Because they came with the power of God. They had weapons that we hadn't seen before. They wiped out millions of us. They put the fear of God inside us, and then they put an image of God. And we feared that image. Because every time we saw him, the slave master. Every time. Every time. That's why we were obedient, and it wasn't just that. But I want to show you that this is what makes this possible. You see that? This is from an island in the Pacific called Tuvalu. It's one of the last colonies that Britain conquered in 1968. Ain't that some shit? Right after we got independence, they were still going out there conquering more black people. They gave these people independence in November 1978, the year and month I was born. But of course, you know their independence doesn't mean anything because this was taken in 2012. Do these guys look independent to you? Do they look like they want to be carrying around this white dude as their king? And make no mistake, we do the same thing on this island. We just don't put him up on the pedestal. And finally, the Bible, conveniently, is full of scriptures that made you accept all of this domination. And I want to begin by reading to you one particularly pernicious section of scripture. Now again, let me just make it clear. This is not the word of God. This is not the word of God. This is the word of men, written into the book that you are told is the word of God. You follow me? God didn't say this. God didn't sanction any of this. God couldn't possibly have done that because God had to have been black. But I want you to read this because you need to understand the psychology. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 18 to 20. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters. Not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh. What? What? For it is commendable if someone bears up, that means endures, bears up under the pain of unjust suffering because they are conscious of God. It is commendable for you to endure enslavement because you honor God when you do so. Alright? Now this part I love. But how is it to your credit if you receive a beating for doing wrong and endure it? In other words, if you disobey your master and you get beaten, it's not commendable. There's no honor in that. Don't disobey your master. Don't try to free yourself. Don't run away. Don't set some slaves free. It's not commendable. But if you suffer for doing good, meaning doing what the master tells you, and you endure it, this is commendable before God. This is the depth of the psychological programming that was done to our ancestors right here on this island. This is not the word of the Creator. This was put into the book to ensure that an agenda was followed. So, have you ever wondered how these churches got started on this island? Starting in the mid-1700s, the plantation masters opened up the religion to the slaves. But they did it a very specific way. First of all, they made sure that one slave was taught how to read and write. This would have been the only literate black man in the room. And he would have been a house slave. But here's where this gets deep. The white master is sitting in the midst of the congregation. He's overlooking his slaves. But he's there to make sure that this guy teaches them what he's supposed to teach them. Right? This guy was called the overseer. Anybody here goes to a church of God? Pentecostal church? This is where your overseer came from. The overseers are not black, but this is where they came from. Again, this is not to attack your religion, it's just to show you that religion was used as a weapon, just like the bullets and the bombs, in order to conquer us. Now this one is going to be shocking. You are bonded property. A slave is bonded or bounded, same word, same root. Bonded, bounded, binded, same root, same word. The Spanish has succeeded in stripping the island of all its gold. We know that because we know that Columbus, after 6 years in this region, went back to Spain with so much gold that the price of gold collapsed in Europe, and suddenly gold was worthless. So the British couldn't rely on gold. The Spanish took all of that. This island had two things that were more valuable than the gold. This island had agriculture, and it had black people. And so the British figured out a system in which they could use both of those resources to their advantage. This is the beginning of what you know as stocks and bonds. What was the stock? Your ancestors. Livestock, cattle, chattel. You've heard the term chattel slavery? Chattel is property. This is where it comes from. It literally comes from cattle, from livestock. That's why they used to literally brand the slaves with a hot iron, just like they did their cows. So that was the stock. The bond was the certificate of ownership. So I, Ramian Reynolds, would be a stock. And the piece of paper that says that Mr. Reynolds owns me would be my bond. Alright? And that bond carried a value. A field slave, or I should say a warrior slave, was worth more than a field slave, who was worth more than a house slave, who was worth more than a female slave, and so on. So the bonds varied in value, alright? The buying, selling, and trading of these bonds is what became known as the stock exchange. Like New York Stock Exchange, like London Stock Exchange, which, by the way, was founded in 1678. So we know it was right there in the slavery mills. And I'm going to show y'all what a modern bond looks like. Who knows what this is? This pretty decoration around the side, that's what makes it legal bonded paper. It's a certificate. It says right up here. It's a certificate. It's a bond. It's a bond. This is a bond. Remember I said, I'm the stock. This is my bond. And my bond carries a value. Depending on the stock. Depending on the quality of my stock. This is what is the basis of the stock exchange. This is what built the economy of England. Now let's zoom in on this because I want to show you some details on it. I can't just drop this on and move on. This is a bond number. It's called a sequence number. It's a financial number. Starts with A for asset. This seal is a seal of the corporation that registered you. We can spend a whole lecture on this. Here we have the certifying officer. This signature is important. It's what certifies it, and then it's sealed. And we all know the Red Cross, the Cross of Rome. It's right there on your bond certificate. Rome owns you. This is not a plaything. It's not theoretical. This is how the global financial system was actually built. And it's how it still functions. It is how white Europeans continue to extract wealth from that people. Point number 6, moving through these, the so-called independence at last. Okay, in 1692, when colonial government was pretty much set up, right? Remember, they took it over in 1655, they named it Jamaican in 1661, but in 1692 they had this lockdown. That government consisted of a governor, an executive council, and magistrate courts of admiralty. All the ports in Jamaica up until 1962 were officially maritime courts. That means they were courts of commerce. It had nothing to do with law or common law. The governor was known as the Lord of the Land, and the chief commander of the Jamaica militia which up until 1952, that's the name of the JDF. It was called the Jamaican Militia. Has the Jamaican Militia, or let's say the Jamaican Army, has the Jamaican Army ever fought a war with another country? No. You know who the Jamaican Army has fought with? Us. Us. The only people these soldiers have ever killed is Jamaicans. Just like they did in Tivoli. We might have to edit that off the video here, but I'm just letting you all know that is what they were there for. The Jamaican Army's not there to defend us. Who are they going to defend us from? Trinidad? We know they can't fight America, and that won't happen anyway. They are there to maintain the power of the Governor General by violence and force. By 1962, as the black population became a supermajority, now I know that word, because what it means is that we went from outnumbering them to outnumbering them so massively that they knew that they couldn't possibly continue with the system that they had. They had to make some changes. In order to appease the black citizens, the British Crown decided to hand over some responsibility to the desegregated local parliament. Remember, before 1962, the parliament was pretty much white. White people around this island outright. They always have. 1962, they allowed some niggas to enter into Gordon House. Or I should say some more. I mean, Hugh Sherrill was there, but he was like a token Negro. Not to offend anyone, alright? But this is all the independence did.
The British flag, which has flown over Jamaica for the past 3 centuries, is about to be replaced by the Jamaica national flag, heralding the birth of the new nation. The lights go out. The Union Jack is lowered, and the new flag of Jamaica raised.
Selling us. All they did was literally give us a flag and an anthem. And I promise you that's all that changed. It was a lie. Here's what the Act of Independence did not do. And by the way, I've read that act. I read a bunch of acts. You have to when you're dealing with this subject matter. You got to read a whole lot of colonial laws. We know what it did. Here's what it didn't do. It did not relinquish the Queen's claim of dominion over the island. She still owns it. It did not return ownership of the land and the resources of the people. We don't own them. It did not restore our birthright inheritance. It did not compensate the natives for the wealth stolen from us through 400 years of slavery. It did not remove the Queen as head of state. She's still very much there. And by the way, I've heard that the government here has said that they want to remove the Queen and move us to a republic. They don't have the authority. They do not have the authority. That's something that they tell you in an election to get you worked up because they know that Jamaicans are full of national pride. But they don't have the authority. They work for her. How your employees are going to take away your ownership? How can your employees take away your power? It did not rescind the Governor General's lord of the land. He still is, we know that. And he's still the Commander-in-Chief of the military. That's why, again, we might have to edit this, but that's why when Bruce Golding wanted them to go into Tivoli and kill some Jamaicans, he had to get the Governor General to declare a state of emergency and send in the army. Prime Minister doesn't control the army. The army is still the militia, and it's there for the Governor General to enforce the power of the Queen through violence. I'm not saying this to be controversial. I'm saying this as a matter of fact, and more importantly, I'm saying this as a matter of law. It did not revoke the birth certificate bonds on the citizenry. We're still bonded. I showed you that. And it did not resolve the debts that have been accrued upon the people. This so-called independent nation started out black broke. And not only broke, but we started out in debt. So the government of Jamaica and the Bank of Jamaica, which are both foreign-owned entities, meaning they're owned by the Queen. We don't own them. I've read the Bank of Jamaica Act of 1960. We do not own the Bank of Jamaica. All right? There is a reason that you can go to the University of the West Indies and never be required to read any of this stuff. There's a reason you can do 4 degrees and never learn that the birth certificate is a bond. Because if they taught you how your system of law was actually designed to work, you probably would not submit to it. So the GOJ and the BOJ began to borrow large sums of money from predatory multinational lenders. We know them well. The International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the USAID. Those loans carried high interest rates and harsh penalties called structural adjustment policies. Here's an example of a structural adjustment policy. We have 3 million people on this island. How many full-service general hospitals do we have? 6. 6 hospitals on an island of 3 million people. Portmore is the most populous city in the Caribbean, and Portmore still doesn't have a general hospital. The reason Portmore doesn't have a hospital is because of something called structural adjustment policies. When the IMF lends you money, they tell you what you can spend it on. And they told us explicitly, you can't build no new schools. We haven't built any new schools in 20 years. We haven't built any new hospitals in 30 years. This is why. This is the grip of poverty. The other thing that these structural adjustment policies have caused is the sellout of all our resources. That's why we don't own the bauxite. We don't own the tourism industry. We don't own the telecommunications company. We don't own the power company. We don't own the water company. We sold out all the farmland. We sold out the airports. We don't own them. So 52 years later, as we were waving flags this August, those SAPs are essentially running the economy. They dictate everything from the value of the dollar to the rate of income tax, to whether a school stays open or your road gets fixed. Today, half of every dollar of tax you pay goes towards servicing the debt. And the other half, by the way, goes to royalties and the bondholders. Your taxes do not finance your country at all. At least your income tax doesn't, not a dollar of it. The end result, of course, is a bankrupt economy. There is a group, a think tank in Washington, D.C. called the Center for Responsible Economic Policy. They published a report last year. In that report, they declared that Jamaica is the single most indebted nation on the planet. That means out of all the 198 countries on earth, we're the only ones who owe so much money relative to the size of our economy. Our debt exceeds our GDP. We cannot possibly repay it. We're not meant to. And basically, we now have an entire population working to service that debt. We are now debt slaves. We have gone from being bound slaves to being bonded slaves, to being debt slaves. That's why the subtitle on the flyer you got said, how we were made slaves and why we're still not free.
Oh, blessings, blessings. Wow. Mine through here. Oh, wow. 45 minutes already. Wow, 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 wow. Blessing to everybody. I see a lot of comment coming in. Lord of mercy, some very, very important comment, you know. I hope the comments are not cut because I'm gonna read them. Lord of mercy, very, very interesting. I had 2 clips to play, but you know I'm not gonna even confuse this thing. I'm gonna just stay at this for this morning and save the other one for another time. Because this is what you have said, some key points there that would like persons to go on, you know, to watch back this video. The clip is at the top of the live. The clip is on YouTube, but the link is at the top of the live. You could watch again, get a better understanding, and also do some researches. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it at this. Let me see. Okay, somebody said interested. Bless up Antaraj, yeah? Alright, this is interested. Amaru, yeah, I'll jot down that was the original name for Jamaican. And the reason why they said we are not Jamaican because we were already there. You know, someone always say to me, Grace, do your research because Jamaica is the eye of Africa. You get what I'm saying? So there's no such thing as no Jamaican. It is called Amaru, and from Amaru come the Americas. So we need to do some more research on that. And it is said that Jamaica is actually the eye of Africa. You get what I'm saying? So we need to do some more research on that. I find it's very interesting too when he said that the Pope Innocent. It's very funny, the name Pope Innocent, as if any Pope is innocent. He's the one that actually legalized slavery right across the world. So I jot on that. I need to do some research on that as well. Okay, he said a little bit as well when he said that, you know, Christian doctrine was used to taught us, yeah, that God made us in his image and likeness. And then the image they show us is of the white man, yeah. So, you know, we need to look through that. That's something we need to look through because he said that everywhere you go, whether the Chinese, the Indian, you know, whatever, their God is always someone that looks like them. So that is something that, you know, I jot down as well. You need to do a research on that because that make a lot of sense. Because if your God made you in his image and likeness, obviously you must look like him. So something to write somewhere, right? So and I see somebody put, this is interesting and there's something I need to look through as well. Belize is the home of all Caribbean. Belize is the home of all Caribbean people, including the entire US, Mexico. Okay, we are the original people, so that's something you need to look through as well. All right, Belize is the original home of all Caribbean, the entire US, Mexico. We are the original people. Go do your research on that. Also jot on this. When this is something we need to look through as well, because they say why poverty, why, you know, the government of Jamaica can't do certain things, and, you know, the government now do this and now do that. But it take me back when I was having a reason with somebody and said, boy, you know, the government kind of under pressure, you know, because don't ever think that Jamaica is independent, because the government have to answer to who you know what. You understand? So I kind of jot on this part to give you awareness, because sometimes you watch something, you don't really get it at the same time. When the IMF lends money, they specifically say don't build schools. Okay, so I guess if from here that bit, I guess they tell you what to do and what not to do with the money you borrow. So when you see road now fix, you know, this place now have it's a whole thing. So it's something for you to look through based on the clip I've just played. Okay, all right, I see somebody put this a while ago, and this is very, very important. Teach your children early what you learned late, so they don't make the same mistake that you have made. That is so true. So whatever y'all learn now in your day and age, and them say never too old to learn, what y'all learn now, please to teach your children them from when them small. You understand what I say to you? Say them not go through the same scenario or the same, you understand? Even they're gonna go to school, you know, and they're gonna be taught what them might teach them, you know, but at least you do your part. Alright, so bless up to everybody. Hope everybody's having a happy Sunday, good Sunday. I'm gonna get some of the comments. I'm gonna go right up, come and see some of a comment that I think is very, very interesting. Bless up to everybody on the line. Of course, them cut out some of the comment, but I'm just gonna read what I'm seeing here. Okay? Jamaican currently running on an autopilot. Okay, someone say that. No law, just legal terms, rule, codes, and regulation. So you say no law, just legal terms, rule, codes, and regulation. Okay, okay. Someone say eye-opening stuff, grace or blessings. All right, big up the school as role, and you say I talk about this history. Wow. Yeah, I see where you were doing this on your show one time. Yeah, for real. Definitely. All right. Someone say, so why black people worshiping white God? Interesting. All right. Someone, big up yourself, Robert. Think about it, people. If they would spend trillion yearly to hide you from something, don't you think they know something about you don't know? All right. Very interested. Someone say we are trying to build a health center in Cheesefield district in Jamaica, and your support is needed. Okay. Okay. All right. They want you to think you're black and poor, but with the rich go invest in poor country, or the people just to have a poor midst based and the schooling. Is it somebody calling me? I'm not sure if this person want to talk and teach and learn at the moment. Okay. They want you to think that you're black and poor, but would the rich go invest in a poor country or the people just to have a poor midst based on the schooling system that's systematically designed to keep them ignorant and stupid, dumb, down, and argumentative? Oh, very interested. I like this comment. Someone say Columbus discovered nothing. Yes. Yeps. It was get down or you going under the ground. Permanent. Okay. Columbus is the foreigner. Alright, they seem to be interested. Columbus is the foreigners coming to set up all manner of business establishment, and the only thing you and your babies can do is go to school for a certificate to seek employment. Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. You know what you need to do? Very important. Get a book and a pen, because when I just start teach and learn, I remember someone said this, and he say call and say to teach and learn, get a book, get a pen, whatever you hear for the first time, or you may not, just jot it down, do your own research, just jot it down. And I remember someone said, whatever you've been taught or you hear, just link it to reality. Don't quick to say it's rubbish and all of them things there are, oh, you know, I hear that because this is not what you've been taught in school and churches. You understand? One of the artists have in his song say, okay, you set the mind of what you've been taught in school and churches. Okay? So, very, very important. Someone say, yeah, big up yourself, Nadine, they rob everything. Dash. Lord of mercy. Big up yourself, Keith. Keith's a mirror. Hey. Okay. How we don't have any scholars, yeah, or so-called rich people, at least 10 to sit and lobby on simple matters like JPS, water commission, since energy can't finish and the water the same. Why set up one steady price so the people don't feel, oh, you're asking, why not set up one steady price so the people don't feel pressured? And most important, our food. How in our food we import more than we export. Okay, and our food we import more than we export. You think they care about your health? This is very let me read back this one more time. I like it. Big up yourself, Robert, you know. Cause I see you put something, you know, and as some know say know what you're talking about. I see you put something and I'm gonna read to that comment. Yeah, big up yourself. You should call in and teach and learn some of the time. Let me read back your comment. How we don't have any scholar, yeah, or so-called rich people, at least 10 to sit and lobby on simple matters like JPS Water Commission since energy can't finish and water the same? Why not set up one steady price? Okay? The people don't... You miss out something. Why not set up one steady price? Yeah? So the people don't feel pressured. Most important, our food. How important and more... Okay. Don't feel pressured. And mostly important, our food. We import more than export. Alright? We import more food than we export. Remember Jamaica we are talking about, remember Jamaica we are talking about. We export the banana, the yam, the dashi, the cocoa, all type of fruits you can think of. How are we importing them more than we exporting? Good question, I like this. Alright, you think they care about your health? Alright. Okay, that's why we are prisoners of war. But no, we are volunteer. It's without any form of resistance. And our ancestors in please. Alright? I sure cause and I ain't please, alright? I sure cause and I ain't please. Don't get a little part with the I bit there, so but alright. Someone say fake gods has more chance to be closer to God than man. Alright. Enough blessing, love DJ Grace for sharing is caring. Please, love like knowledge is power. And that's all the people need. Alright, I'm getting a call. Alright, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. And that's all the people need. Forward, love, and unity and honor. Alright, blessing. Let me stop right there. I'm going to take this call, but please, I'm going to give you 10 minutes and the call because we're not here for long today. Okay, Grand Rising, you're live. Blessing, blessings. Let me try to get this one.
Blessed Queen. Listen to all the viewers, them.
Yes.
I love what's going on. Although you know, Facebook always give me this terrible fight.
Alright, please don't mention. Please don't mention because you know it is struggles. Yeah. Let's get into it, please. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about it, you know, is this. Wherever you see a country in this world of theirs, because we are come out of earth and go into them world. Whenever you see a country in them world that have a prime minister, a president, a governor general, all these people are workers, right? It's just like having a company where you have the CEO and the president, because although the CEO is named the CEO, he still has to answer to somebody. He still has to answer to a board member.
Yes.
The board member answer to someone still, because somebody pay them. But we never yet find out who is that person, or who are these persons, who are these green-eyed persons. See, because Jamaica, the people get the chance to have Jamaica for themselves, and them blew that chance a long time ago. And the only man who could lead them to own in them own place and tell them to own them own place was Michael Manley. But they make a blue-eye man come tell them all type of thing. And them fight over Michael Manley. And now them pay the price. We have a thing to look on Cuba and say Cuba suffer. But people have to realize that Cuba will never suffer. Cuba will never suffer. Because the first thing they must say, Cuba suffer because Cuba don't have a lot of cell phone power, a lot of this, a lot of that. But them look into too much vanities. What Cuba have is everything to themselves. Yes, Cuba produce the greatest doctor. Now tell me, a country will not have as much internet. How them produce the greatest doctor? See? How they don't have a crime rate?
Yes.
How they cry to the world for nothing? Because these people not take no IMF money. At the moment you take a debt, the moment you take a credit card, always remember this. And people might see it so simple. You take a credit card, and when you pay off it, you still want to look back something to buy to put on that credit card again to continue to pay again. Because it's come like them and rate you in.
Yes.
It is just like Jamaica. Them put them destructive hurricane right to the Caribbean because they want the Caribbean to be indebted to them at all times. Jamaica not here import food. Jamaica, as small as Jamaica is, Jamaica produce more food than America. England not produce no food. So we're not going to touch England. 3/4 of the world don't produce no food. See? So why Jamaica import food and start to have less farmers? Why Jamaica even make them have a banana field in a Jamaica where that banana is hybrid?
Great Christian. Great Christian. Great Christian. Yes. Great Christian.
See, so are we the people? It's like we look into too much sending, too much things where we feel like we can't do it all, but you see we used to do without it. We used to do it without light. We never used to have TV, so what's the problem now?
That is it.
See, just think of everybody in Jamaica now just to get more light and start using them lamp and stuff like that. How do you think that will go? All these companies will mash up. Because how can you pay for water when water comes from the earth?
All right.
See, not only you pay for water, when them start pricing all the water for you to buy bottled water. How can you live in the Caribbean and you talk about bottled water? See, when we talk these things, people feel like say, oh yes, some people will overstand it because they don't understand it long time and understand it, so they will overstand it now. See, one time when we used to fall, we used to drink rain water, now we can't drink it no more. I guess when the rain fall, people say, oh, thank God for the rain. Yes, of course, God give us dirty rain. See? This is the time when people supposed to move away and start looking at things in a realistic way now, because now them get a chance to see for themselves. Because when them give you corona, them check say it don't come the world. But the youth them start think into it now. Something is wrong.
Yes.
A lot of people singing or asking where Jesus and God there because they lock the church. Who closed the church? See, then
There are more Christian than answers. There are more Christian than answer. Lord of mercy.
Yeah, of course. There'll be so many. There'll be no answers to all the questions you ever ask. And who think it's impossible them living in the past? See?
The answer is alright there, man, because guess what, no, you can answer your own self in a caller. The answer right there. The answer is right there. And you can answer them. You going to answer the question yourself.
But the thing about it, the phrase is not like asking ourselves the question. The phrase is like asking them. Them can't answer because them don't know themselves. See? Mr. People get back them pitting now for school, for homeschool them. When them been not tell you say, all we see them have up front, like the Zuckerberg, the Bill Gates and the Tesla, the Elon Musk. Remember say them jump out of school. When them jump out of school and go. Home train. So how them get your home train and get so brilliant? So when teacher used to be the pitney them, parents go school go be a teacher. Now them get them home pitney now. To groom them pitney and bring them back to the stage. Them a ball the teacher.
Yes, that is it.
No Jamaican, iPad. want tablet. Are you serious? Teach youth them the moral of life and teach them a trade. Make them go learn a trade. Teach them the moral of life, the principle of life, and make them go up a trade. Nothing beat that.
Yes, scholar.
Because whenever you go in a school system, we have a teacher to count and say, 1, 2, 3 is a scam. Because everything starts at 0. So, people at Jamaica, when they vote, them just vote up and down and then come back to square one.
Alright, somebody.
People used to ask me, so you sell your vote? I said, I'm not selling my vote. I vote what me want. I not use my money. When they pay me for the vote, I'll 10 times. I vote half and half. When me get my money, I buy pipeline. I buy pump and run water in my yard. Me see what me vote for.
Yes. Alright, what you think about, alright, caller, before we lock off, what you think about, alright, let me read something and then someone comment and say, Grand Rising, good discussion. My husband went to the market Friday and how the prices are terrible. He's saying that he's not going next week because it's bad. And they're saying it's going to be food shortage in Jamaica. What do you think about that? Knowing that Jamaica is a place where I'm telling you, should have food shortage. Because we talk about Jamaica as a place where we talk about farmer, you talk about Jamaica. So food shortage is like, what do you have to say about that?
Let me tell you this.
Wow.
It's a surprising to see people just come up with this because we've been at these things long time. If Roland school that is on the life, he can say it too.
Yes, he is.
We've been at these things long time because we see it coming. From last year, we see this coming. We see these things coming from last year. We see where this is the reason why them pump so much nasty food in Jamaica. This is the reason why Jamaica gets so knuckleated with homosexuality. Because of the food. They never hide these things and tell us they more use food and destroy we.
Are they
So
saying?
when a man look for you and tell us they more use food and destroy you, why the Prime Minister of Jamaica, since him care about the people from way back when, why they never pump everything into farming? If you care about people in Jamaica, why you allow US government to push so much gun in Jamaica and I blame drugs, man? These people know everything that go on in the world because they have eyes all over. They are the gods and they watch everybody. They know every movement. So why would they allow so much gun to go in Jamaica? Just so we kill each other. So when they take away all of the things them from we have nothing to do than just to go around and kill each other.
Wow.
And the plan are executed so right. So food are going to start. People are going to start eat people. All the meat eaters are going to start eat people.
I've been saying that as well. Because the person said cabbage is 150. Can you imagine? We used to get cabbage for like, how much pounds? Cabbage is 150. Lord of mercy. Oh, people are going to manage.
If they entertain in Jamaica, they want to build out some 14, 15, 20 bedroom house with clear concrete around it. They feel the money are going to buy nothing. The money are going to wipe away. Some of them all look for it. Where them going to eat? Concrete? You have some people full them place of flowers. But they will go eat. Flowers?
Just since we got asked somebody the same question, because they was telling me about how snail eating down their flowers. I said because you're planting food for the snail. You need to plant food for yourself. I get what I said to you.
Exactly.
Lord have mercy.
So this is how we need to get back in basic up. We need to get it and start to rush with it. We need to rush. Because these people not eating up. Because you see, people are talking about, we not take vaccine, we don't have to take vaccine. Everybody will get it. Everybody will get it. Because you now can't drive your car without it. You know, can't even walk the street without it. Them swear that they movie. They never hide it. Them swear exactly what they want to we the people.
It has started already. I mean, it's what it is. It is what it is. Lord of mercy. You know, people just gotta just wake up and see what's going on. Wake up and smell the coffee. See what's going on in reality.
All right,
I mean, so.
Now we have all these things now. And people are call upon Jesus and God the most now. When he's real, when they really need it, we are there. So you see the reality now? Reality are going to keep them now. And it going to keep them so hard that them out and dead because them can't deal with reality because they never deal with it from before. Because if you were to tell me, say, an invisible man, I've come save me. I must find the move with him invisible man.
Lord of mercy.
We not only we can save ourselves.
Right.
That's why they tell us say, oh, Jesus will help somebody else help themselves. So with the sense, if me not help myself, will send me up on Jesus, tell me no. And I push start no want. No one help. So people have to start get that in them head. People have to start stand up firm in a Jamaica street, make them know say hear this. If certain thing to get rid of, we have a burn down Jamaica. And we not burn the farm. We have burn the city with them business in because the city them control. Them put them wealth right in at the ghetto.
Alright. I think we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it right there, my caller. Alright, because we see a revolution coming. So we're gonna leave it right there. Thank you for calling in and for sharing in. I am sure Percy is gonna
arm themselves. They better buy up guns and arm themselves. Because it'll get rough. It'll get rough. May I tell them, stop fighting against each other and start focus on the enemy that's coming. Because they are coming.
Alright.
Alright?
Alright, my caller. Blessings.
Blessings to have me for your program. I love the program, Teach and Learn. And I'll forever bless on this program because this program is teaching people a lot of things.
Definitely.
DJ Grace is doing a good job and I love that.
Thank you so much.
Right?
And thanks for calling and sharing. I appreciate it. Yes.
And I'm a blessing to all the listeners, all the viewers. And people just like and share this program because this program will reach people. It has to. Alright, much love.
Thank you so much. Blessing you too. Alright, thanks for calling in. I'm telling you, it touched some point there, people. All myself for do people when I should nothing down anybody's throat. Get your little book and your pen and jot down things, whatever you hear, because that's what I do. Persons say, you know, I appreciate, Persons say, Grace, I can't believe you grow in such a little time, but you understand. If you search, you will find. And if you want to learn, all you got to do is just listen. You understand? Just listen, because I analyze that every single person have some kind of truth. You understand what I say to you? And sometimes the truth they have just don't come through the researches, but their ancestors put it into their consciousness. The divine creator put it in their consciousness, their awareness, so it connects. So when you hear them come, you wonder, oh, it's like, true, but me not see this. And sometimes them don't know research, but them align themselves with earth, the universe, and the creator, the divine spirit is working through them. So I say everybody have a truth. So I get my little book, whatever I hear, I do my own research, and that's all you got to do. Because if you're gonna just stick with what you learn in school and churches, then I'm sorry for you. Sorry. Let me go back to the comments. Somebody say black people are waking up. All right. Someone say, know thyself and all else come forth. Man told us never to worship two master, so look in the mirror. Wow, powerful. Never to worship two masters, so look in the mirror. So I know him I try, so they say no instant me get it. Alright? What them say, your God look like you and you look like your God. So pick sense out of nonsense. Alright? Took off. Lord of mercy, bless up to James. Alright, let me say. That's a contract ban worth 6 million. 6 million. If you know how to access your trust. Oh, this is the comment that Robert put and I say, oh, you know what he's saying, because that based on my research and that little book that I told you to get. Oh my gosh, what's the name of that book again? Oh, what's the name of that book? I have it somewhere, but I don't remember. But I'm gonna post it. He said that's a contract ban worth 6 million. If you know how to access your trust that was set up without your knowledge, and the funds going to sit there until you claims it. So it's all have to do with your birth paper. The minute you was the minute you're born of this world, and have a birth paper, I won't get in it. I won't get in it right now, but it's a lot for you to learn. And I think I'm going to come and do a topic on this, because that is very deep knowledge, trouble knowledge that, people. But let me move along, but because I'm going to end the show in the next couple of minutes. Okay, learn the universe, laws, and the land and banking. You realize with your real eyes that you are the law and the bankers tellers, but lack of knowledge turn down. All right, turn a grown man into a little boy. Lord of mercy. It's the police state. We don't have no army. Alright? It's the police state. We don't have no army. Alright? Protecting queen property. Protecting queen's property. How though what bloodline she come from? Lord of mercy. Alright, good question. No selling anything from claiming what you're truthful yours. Okay, he's responding to the clip that was playing. So okay, here we go. Roland Roland said, Belize is the home of all Caribbean people, including the entire US, Mexico. We are the original people. Game over. Alright, don't be up. Okay, replying to somebody. Your God start operating as such. No, you have no one to blame but yourselves for not taking yourself serious or not loving and caring, compassionate with yourselves. Alright, that's where you're coming from, Robert. Blessings. Teach your children. Okay, that's a comment. Teach your children from early what you learn late, so they don't come and make the same mistake that you have done. Alright. They call us immigrant in our own lands. We paying rent for our own homes. We are captive in our own homes. Bless up to you, watchdog, alright? School as Roland, that's it. Alright. Look over our mining states. They look over our ports. Look all our industry sites. Yes. Lord of mercy. Alright. Jamaica is a corporation. It's also a business for them. Okay. We are all the Americans. You either live in South America or North America. They tricked you. Alright. We are the Silicon Valley. Everything has come through Jamaica. Lord of mercy. Blessing to Joy. Alright. Shorty Slick blessing. Blessing to Youth and G. Blessings to Nia. Alright. Youth say the system is a scam. Lord of mercy. Bless up to you now. True thing caller about Cuba. Lord of mercy. Alright. Blessings to Miss Unruly. Blessing to James. Lord of mercy. Alright. Alright, let me stop there and take this call. Alright. Caller, you're going to have less time, because guess what? It's my time to go. So go ahead and hit the point. What you have for us today?
Yes. Good afternoon to everyone on the line. Yeah, regarding to food, crisis in Jamaica, and people been saying food expensive and food expensive. That's where you go to get food expensive. Because I remember I was in Jamaica and the little man outside his little box with the little hand cart. And do I know that Mr. Chin have his thing they wrap up? The same cabbage, the same callaloo, the same pumpkin and the same everything. The little man out there got his cart with the little iron, with the little carton box selling the same thing. But I rather to go buy from Mr. Chin. And when Mr. Chin up his price now, we mourn. But the same man outside with the cart, we look down upon that man more time with the cart outside where we could get everything out there for the one price that Mr. Chin will sell you. Just the cabbage from in the store. So it's we need to shop around. Even, right,
hold on, but Carla, no, but hold on a minute. But that's not the case in this scenario. This has nothing to do with shop around. This has nothing to do with even the man that's selling, because right about now, the farmers now plant. So when you could have go to the farmer and get a price from the farmer, and the farmer now plant. So if the food is importing, Mark, you know, the food is important to you, and them don't make you know say it's gonna be food shortage. Some food is a must. So whatever the price is that import the food, everybody gonna sell them thing because everything gone sky high. So nobody now sell for 100 and something 50. Everybody thing gone up now because them set it that way there. You get what me I say to you? So it's a different scenario.
You see the imported thing in our little country, we try to run for it. The little man that plant is little vegetable, animal cell, callaloo, you're not gonna buy for them. You're not going, so you don't encourage him to plant. So we go and buy the imported thing. It's we break down each other's. I see that I was in Jamaica and I know that I do it for we. I see that for myself down there. Where we were to go into the store, take up a big basket and push on with trolley, and we have this nice look. So we show off sometime and buy stuff. I wouldn't buy from the little small man. So it's we cost this and ourselves for farmer that we're interested to plant. Because we are the people buy from the imported stuff. It's we make it up for ourselves. Like when they want to carry their vaccine, if we denied it, they can't post it on us. If we deny anything that we don't want, they can't beat us to it. It's just we are outright. It's just us. If we don't give up, there is no power to them.
Well, it has passed that level still. It has passed that level, because when it was in our hand to make a change, I heard the caller call in a while ago and say what he said about Mike and Manley. Alright? It has passed that. It has passed that. It has passed that stage. You understand? It has passed that stage because, yes, we have helped to make it past that stage. So, you understand? It's going to be a hard task. If you ask me, the majority is sleeping anyways. The majority is sleeping, so, you know.
But as I said, DJ Grace, where there is life, there is hope. It's not all of us get caught up into it. The few that are hanging on out there can make it better. It's not all of us caught up in the mess. The few that out there, they said they're going to bring in robot, yeah? The police ain't going to have a job. They should know that. Get smart. The soldier ain't going to have a job because everything going to be robot. So it's just for a time for you in them. Then they put them aside. Just like when we're young and we get old, you put me in one little corner as a daughter. You start to beat me. So this is what's going to happen to them in the end. Then this robot going to take over their job. So they need to sharpen them spur up and realize, look, but later on we are going to get thrown under the bin. And it's not joking. They're going to bring a robot. We're going to get thrown under the bin. So put up the resistance from now because we're all going to get thrown under the bin. So we have chance to rebel to anything that's coming up with now. That is the majority rule. Thank you very much for your time, DJ Grace.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for calling in. All right. Yes, I agree with that bit and say we have to retaliate. I mean, I see a revolution. That's all I'm going to say on a bit, because I am sure, as you say that bit, I do agree. There's a lot of persons who, you know, saying they're not taking the vaccine and they're not this and they're not that, but it can't be. What them say, action is louder than words. So let's see. I see a revolution. Alright, let me read this comment and then I'm going to play a song. I'm going to love you and leave you. It's our time to teach the world. We have sit and listen to white men and Chinese and Hindu philosophy. No, it's their time to sit in class and learn from the real teachers of knowledge. Alright. Yes, they learn everything they know from us. That is it. Now, bless up. Alright. May the ancestors protect our people worldwide. All right. I know it's I know it. It's most of them are silence. All right, Altia, bless up yourself. All right. Research and read. Research and read King Alfred plans. Okay. So we're gonna leave it there. All right. True, bro. We taught them, and they have been using it against. So, oh yes, I like this comment here. Hold on there. Yes, we taught them, yeah, and they've been using it against us ever since. We should have left them the Caucasus Mountain. You hear me? All culture that have ever taught them anything, all culture that have ever taught them anything, they betray them and use it against them. Lord of mercy. I tell about teacher learning, man. Truth. One of my friends has been charged with felony because he figured out how to get that money the government has on themselves from birth. Okay, you see? Alright, yeah. So we are talking about some deep things underwater. We have to take back the motherland from it. Back to people land. Okay, we have to take back the motherland, right? From them, it is back black people land. Lord of mercy. All right. A few of them are a few of the Africans presidents felt the same way and started putting them out of the land. The late president. All right, I'm telling you. All right. Hear what? I'm going to drop this song here, and then you know me, I said to you.
Take my broken wings and let me fly. Take my broken wings and let me fly. Just like an eagle soaring through the sky. Take my broken wings and let me fly. Imagine this. We were kings and queens before. Imagine this. Our history and roots we have to know. Imagine this. We were born to rule. Don't even need a school. They're trying to keep us cool and treat us like we are fools. Hey. Them want education. Them embrace segregation. Them a destroy the nation. And I program the station. Hey. Take my broken wings and let me fly. Take my broken wings and let me fly. To the sky, take my broken wings and let me fly. Remember this. It was how you plow your field. Remember this. But it was you who reaped the corn. Remember this. It was our birthright that you stole. Remember this. Your only plan was to take control. Remember this. Your religion is not impressive. Hey. Misleading the people selected. See, the one who knew the most was rejected. Conversation neglected. No justice will be served, no matter who is elected. Hey. Take my broken wings and let me fly. Take my broken wings and let me fly.
Take my broken wings, man. That one is called Broken Wings by the artist Youth and G. Someone say, big up a seven and direct. We had schools, farms, and the government destroy them. Alright? They're working with the globalists to destroy the land, to destroy this land. Alright? Talking from Jamaica. There is no shops around anymore. The virus come with a lazy yeah, the virus come with a lazy oh man, or amen. What that's supposed to be there? All prices are the same. The people get them lazy looking to food banks. The people get them lazy looking to food banks, looking for government handouts. Lord of mercy, we're going to leave it there for today. Alright, let me big up some people before I go. Big up yourself to School as Roll and checking in, or Watchdog Entertainment. Please to follow Watchdog, please, and you can follow him on Facebook. School as Roll, and please to follow him. He's a man of knowledge and he has his programs you don't want to miss. Alright, full of knowledge. Alright, bless up to Jason, cracking in, bless up to Shorty Slick, bless up to Nia, bless up to Nadine, bless up to Youth and G, bless up to Yuna, bless up to Darrett. Yuna, take my broken wings and let me fly. Say it all. That song is uplifting, upliftment of our spirit. Yes, give us one hope. Not true. Yeah, man, big tune, man. Very, very deep song from Youth and G. Bless up Youth and G as well. I see Robert checking in. Bless up to Robert. Bless up to Nikki Dance. Bless up to Joan. Bless up to Robert. That was commenting, man. A man of knowledge. Bless up to Deborah. Alright, Nia. Alright, Shorty Slick. Let me see. Altia, bless up yourself. Bless up to everybody that clock in. And if I miss your name, I'm sorry. Big up on yourself. Alright. Big up yourself, Father Cut Sleeve as well. Alright. So you'll have a beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe. Alright. You know the things that are ready. Keep safe and all. And remember, you come first, you know. And don't be involved in anything or say yes to anything that is going to harm you or help to kill you. If you know what I mean. So take care of yourself. See you later. Alright. See you tomorrow on the Took Up Show. Bye bye. Bless you. Bye.